WigginsRadio.com. We go where you go. The world's greatest radio, and you're in touch with Wiggins, World of Wellness. And I'm Stacey Wiggins, and this is radio the way it should be heard. So let's see here. Holler. I'm going to holler at you. I'm going to tell you, I thought, what can I do to help inform the public and to stay genuine to myself, yet not too aggressive, so where we're going to be, YouTube's going to blank us out and, have to pull up names and talk about the BGs and all these things that we have to talk in code now. No, we're not going to worry about that stuff. We're going to focus on health. We're going to focus on what it takes, or more in particular, here's the title, the 5 things that I do to stay healthy. The 5 things that I do through this challenging time or any other challenging time to keep my health at a level that is far beyond what we currently can conceive of. I am at a level of health that is quite high. It's to the point where you are energetically full with a gas tank, mentally, energetically full with a gas tank, physically, and energetically full with your spiritual alignment. If you can get all 3 gas tanks full, you're firing on all cylinders. So I feel that's where I'm at this point in time. However, I must confess that within the past 5 to 6 months, I've always talked about living a pain-free life, and my lifestyle has led me to such where I do not have any chronic pain. I may have like a after-workout pain, but it's a very temporary, very acute pain. It comes, it goes. But no chronic pain. Well, here's a confession. I've had some chronic pain. Yes, and over 20 some odd years, I got to a point where it was beyond 3 weeks. It was beyond 3 months. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This ain't me. This ain't Stacey Wiggins. Come on now. You're ruining your own rep. You can't get out of a chair and, start groaning and moaning. So I began to have low back problems, low back issues. And here's where I'm going with this. In order to take care of this, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that I hold true and dear to my health and my heart that bounced me back from this chronic state that I was developing, a chronic tightness, a chronic tension, chronic pain, and got back to feeling 100%, where all of your discs are gently stacked on each other. There's no compression. There's no nerve irritation, because the nerves that I irritated, they went directly down to my foot. Yeah. Did you know that? That the nerves that come out of the root area of the trunk at the L4 and L5, they take part in being part of the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve actually combines S1, S2, L4, and L5. Those root nerves become one. Check this out. That nerve is so big that it's your little pinky. So I know your pinky might not be your size, but this is a nerve size of mine. And so look at your pinky, and it's like, wow, this is the sciatic nerve, once all 4 nerves combined. What's the anatomy lesson? What am I telling you about? Well, I'm trying to solve my own problem, my own tension, my own pain, my own chronicness, and I wasn't getting the answer. And that's the most frustrating thing for me, because let's face it, I'm a guy. I like to fix things. I like to fix myself. I like to help others and fix them, and home projects. I'm just a fix-it kind of guy, and I wasn't fixing it. Super frustrating, let alone just waking up in the morning in pain or stiffness, just not being my 100% self. So the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I do, I'm going to start from the 5th to the strongest. Actually, let me list the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then work my way up, because 1 is so important that it involves all the 4 steps. So first step, it's staying in balance. Staying in balance is like, what do you mean, Stacey? It's actually the hemispherical left-right brain hemisphere coming into an alpha brain state. This is also known as staying in a state of love or self-love, self-care. It's like, really? Yes. Here's the deal. When we, and I don't know, this is a good question. You should ask yourself, who taught me to hate myself? Some part of us, we hate ourselves. And who did that? Who, why? What are they to gain? Anyway, off topic. So loving yourself is going to allow you to do things that you previously wouldn't permit yourself or invest the money to do. In other words, you would be investing more money in your demise as opposed to in your health. So you would stop smoking cigarettes and maybe pick up a gym membership or do yoga. All right, so it's being balanced, it's being calm, especially in the times of stress that we're in. It's being able to maintain your position of calmness in a storm. That is the most important thing to health. Also, the opposite of that, being able to maintain a calm, is not being in that fear state. Last podcast, we talked about the cost of fear, false evidence appearing real. We oftentimes work up our own paranoia, our own imagination of how bad it can be and how, it's going to be so bad and this and this and that and that. And it's just imaginary fear. This fear state creates a non-healing state. That's all you got to simply know. When you're in fear, you're not in an optimal level of self-healing. Period. Flat out. When you're balanced, when you're an alpha state, you are absolutely in an optimal level, optimal potential place to be for you to heal self-love and create more wellness. So number 2, this is the biggest topic, and I've talked about it. We talked about it all the time, and there's a lot of spin-off on these topics, which is our toxicity. And that's one side of the coin, is how toxic our water is, how toxic the air, how toxic our environment, toxic. And also on the other side of the coin is how mineral deficient we are. Did you know that in 1936, let's do the math here, 20, so 13 minus 100, 87 years ago, Congress in 1936 made a declaration, public record, that the American soils are 98% deficient. Wow. That's coming up to 100 years ago. This proclamation was made, and the improvements have been none. We've added maybe 3 chemicals, certainly added more toxins to the soil, but we have not replaced what has been either farmed out, eroded out, because remember the Dust Bowl in the 1920s, okay? So our level of viable, vital soil, which we have depended our very existence on, has been diminishing, more toxic. So here's the deal. This is the biggest thing that you can make an impact in your life, is reduce the toxins, increase the minerals. Very simply said, but we'll drill down on that a little bit later. All right, breathing. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it many times, and I can never stop really talking about it, and there's always something I leave out. I think like some of the important things would be, like, did you know that the lung tissue surface area of your lungs could cover half a tennis court? So how deep are you breathing? How much tennis court are you covering? That's a thought. I've created stretches, diagrams, detailed understanding on what the benefits of breathing are and why one would want to start breathing deeply. Oh, I tell you what, if you've had a chance to listen to Wim Hof, he's the Iceman. He will take your life into the next level. He has done university studies on the benefit of breathing to the degree that you can immediately boost your immune system, that you can change your physiology, that's your body function, that you can change your psychology, that's your mental function. You can actually you can breathe yourself out of depression. Really, you should try it. And if you fail, what happens? The side effects aren't a long list like you see on the commercial. If you take the potential of XYZ, 1, 2, 3, all these things could possibly occur. Well, what's going to happen if you breathe too much? Well, you might get lightheaded. If you pass out, you pick yourself up. You move on. Not too bad. Okay, so breathing is also associated with this next one, and I'm not going to call it exercise. I'm going to call it proper movement. Now, this is a perfect time to analyze, are you moving enough? Are you getting enough healthy movement, not just repetitive movement or you may be bouncing in a truck or anything like that? Are you getting movement that is creating more health? Are you getting movement through your life that is actually creating more flexibility? Because as we age, you fully know the pressure, the tension, the tightness crushes our whole existence, so we don't breathe. With this breathing, and I will demonstrate a lot more because it's so super important that we begin to do this because 1, it's free, 2, it's so super effective, and 3, you can start right now. You don't need a doctor's permission slip. You don't need a gym space area to go to. You don't have to drop into some type of psychic or mental state. You just start breathing. But that's not enough. And if you follow Wim Hof, the Iceman, and try to do some of his breathing, it's amazing stuff. You become really super energized. So I took some of his passion, some of his ideology, and kind of broke it down a little bit smaller to make it a little more digestible on how to breathe in deeply on the big ball, on how to breathe in deeply on the Bosu. And the most important thing that this has, that no other exercise program routine has, is the fact that it's creating a natural resistance to your deep breathing. So as you lay belly face down and you push your navel into the Bosu or the ball, you're actually activating these muscles of inspiration to create more room, more space. And then when you exhale, you allow it to relax and let the Bosu or the big ball push your diaphragm out. So you lay face down, you go on one side, you go on the other side, and you create this space for your diaphragm to move. Now, how important is this? It's important on the most basic level. The most basic level. If you want to increase your health, you want to increase your life, you want to increase your, or reduce your weight, deep breathing, absolutely. If you want to increase your sexual vitality, deep breathing. All these things can be attained and maintained through deep breathing. Yet, we don't have much of a game plan. We don't sit around and say, okay, the next 10 minutes we're going to do some deep breathing. No. Come attend my class. Maybe in the next half hour we'll drop in and look at a few things, and you'll see how easy it is and how valuable these moves are to deep breathe. And as you go about deep breathing, you create so much more airspace, so much more relaxation, that certainly goes into the first one, which is being balanced, being calm. Yo, 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 yo. Just like that, being balanced and being calm. Because here's a perfect example. Went out on my bike the other day. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, lovely weather, the birds were tweeting, and the trees starting to bloom. So it looked very healthy, very promising. So I'm doing this hard ride, feeling good, getting my Keflons and endorphins kicking in, breathing in this fresh air. And it's like, let's turn it in for a day. I wanted to go 2 hours, but I decided to go just 1 hour. So here's the deal. Get back to the car, pack up the bike, put it in the car, and drive out to the parking lot. And so I'm driving and thinking, wow, that was a good time. I burned a certain amount of calories. It was the emotions were relaxed. It just created, because balance really occurs when I stay in this exercise health spot. If I do not exercise enough, I get out of balance. It's that easy. So, cruising home, just enjoying the feeling, exhausted, worked the muscles out real good, and thinking about how this has impacted my health, because, I'm into it. All of a sudden, the guy turns right in front of me, and I have to slam on my brakes. My bike and back is sliding. I'm like, ah! I was just so pissed off. It's like, didn't he see me? Why didn't this guy step on the horn? And I'm thinking, Stacy, look at the state you just switched from. You're into that cool, calm, collected, you love life, and wee-dee-wee, into I just want to kill somebody. I wrap my fingers around this guy's throat because he inconvenienced me and, made me shift my bike and all. And I thought, wow, what an immediate mind state, not just a mind state, but a physiology. My physiology tightened up. I stopped breathing. My mouth got dry. My brain started firing off. I switched so quickly into a fear flight state that I was amazed. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, dude, chill out. So the first thing I did is what I just did. I took a deep breath in. And I said, okay, count your blessings. No one's hurt. Everything's cool. The guy pissed you off, but how long are you going to let this instance dictate your moment? Did he steal just a moment? He, she, whoever pulled out in front of me. Or are they going to ruin the rest of my evening? Am I going to go home and recount it? And you wouldn't believe what just happened to me. Yada, 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 yada. I feel so this and that, and no respect, or whatever it is that we're angry about. And so as I'm driving down the road, thinking about all those wonderful benefits that I just attained from working out, the feel good, the enkephalons, the releases, and all that stuff, and then I get into this rage state in a moment, in the second happening. I'm like, oh my God, I just ruined what I just did. I just kind of like eating ice cream after a good workout. You poisoned your system. All right. So what did I do? Took a deep breath in. And what did I do after that? I took another deep breath in. So it took me 3 deep breaths to where my physiology, which went to tight, constricted, pissed off, wanting to do battle, to where I was almost down to, okay, tension's relieved the neck area. All right, I'm not, okay, boom, the situation is gone. Back to where I was. Now that is so key, so important to maintaining your health. Because if you can't maintain your mental health, if you can't maintain what's going on in your day, then there's no possibility of maintaining much of anything else. So, once again, mental health, self-love, taking out time, you being the observer of you being your own doctor, you being your own master, is going to create this higher awareness, this higher consciousness of creating your own health. All right, so the last thing, as well as the first thing, is we didn't talk about the environment. And the environment it's so important, but it was like number 5. Now, we're now into the new age of more radio frequencies that are potentially harmful for us. However, we're in a new age where there are micro frequencies that are well known to be healthy to us and healthy for us. So more about that on the second half hour, because, oh my God, in the greatest degree of chaos does birth the greatest potential and the greatest reality of how good things can be. It's not about focusing on the bad, it's about focusing on how do I create good. And this is how you create health, is where is your focus, okay? So, back up to the toxins and the deficient mineral lifestyle that we live. Over 80 some odd years ago, Congress determined that we do not have it in the soil. So if you do not have it in the soils, you do not have it in the plants. If you don't have it in the plants, if you're a vegetarian or a meat eater, you don't have it in the cows and chickens and the produce that we eat. So it's missing, and it's a huge, huge problem. It's so huge that once you replace your minerals, let's just say that so many of the things we challenge with in our health and the diseases that we, quote, label ourselves with start to melt away. Do you get cured? I can't say you do or not, but do you go into a higher level of wellness? Most likely, yes. And where wellness exists, disease just ain't got much of a chance. And it's been well known, and it's been well known chemically, physically, and mentally. So let's see here. I have coming up some additional information on how you can get started, and I'm going to demonstrate some things on how you can get started on working on your own tensions, your own tightnesses, and your own, let's just put it this way. You've lived a life of stress. You lived a life of accumulating injuries, falling out of trees, having car wrecks, and having emotional things that maybe we quite haven't left behind, like that car incident. So we are adding and creating such a stress, hell-bent lifestyle that we're not brushing off the shoulder. We're not resetting. And to reset is to actually brush it off your shoulders. Take the tensions, take the stresses that you've accumulated throughout the day and wash them off. All right? One of the most important ways to, quote, wash away stress is deep sleep. So deep sleep is probably number 1A on my list, okay, along with being balanced, because if you have both, you get both. If you're out of balance, you don't have deep sleep. So, where are we here? Oh, back to the toxic and the deficient. We have talked about several times. Let me put my glasses on because you need to rehear this. The benefits of the far infrared sauna. It creates brain cells. Boy, do we need that more than ever today. It improves mood, diabetic benefits, rapid wound healing, increases longevity, and creates a runner's high without exercising. This far infrared sauna is part of our proper movement exercise routine. You're sitting in the sauna. You're not moving at all, but guess what is moving? A whole lot of blood, a whole lot of circulation. And this helps your lymphatic system. This helps clean out your blood system. It helps microcirculation. All right, how sauna use can benefit your brain and mood. Let's read this real quick. New research shows how hyperthermic conditioning has robust positive effects on the brain. It improves attention and focus by increasing the storage and release of norepinephrine. It causes your brain to function faster by enhancing myelination and helps us to repair damaged neurons by increasing prolactin. Myelination, that's the laying down of new myelin or the new myelin sheath, which is damaged. We call it multiple sclerosis, MS. Many sclerosis is the scarring of the myelin sheath. So, wow. Helps faster enhancing myelination and to repair damaged neurons by increasing prolactin. So is this good for your brain? Is this a potential healing agent you can use for not just your brain, but the rest of your body? Yes, could be. Let's read on. It causes the growth of new brain cells, improves the ability for you to learn and retain new information. What? Even when we're older? Yeah. And reduces certain types of depression and anxiety by increasing brain-derived neurotropic factors, or BDNF. More than exercise alone when used in conjunction with exercise. This is important because the new BDNF increases the growth of new brain cells, as well as the survival of existing neurons. Now, are you going to hear about this on your mainstream media, that you actually can enhance your brain health, that you can actually have an impact on your next generation of brain cells? Wow. Think about that. Okay, here's another one. And I love to run, and actually, because of this downtime, I picked up a little more running. It's been real muddy, but it's been fun. Okay, runner's high and the role of dynorphin. The so-called runner's high, which is the boost of endorphins and well-being that is often felt after exercise, that's what I was explaining earlier after that bike ride, has been found also to be related to heat stress. Studies revealed that heat stress from exposure to a sauna increases endorphins significantly. So you know what? I do feel like it's almost like cheating whenever I sit in the sauna, because all I do is sit in the sauna. And I get such fantastic benefits like these heat shock proteins, the endorphins being significantly increased. And I didn't have to go out and load my bike up. I didn't have to lace my shoes up or my skates I didn't have to have equipment to go out and do this. It was done within my home. How lovely. Okay, as your body is subjected to reasonable amounts of heat stress on a regular basis, it gradually becomes acclimated to the heat, promoting a number of beneficial changes to occur in your body. These effects build over time with repeated sauna use. Have you ever wondered what is responsible for the runner's high or the post-exercise highs? In general, if you heard that it's due to endorphins, just know that it's not the whole story. And so it goes more into a deeper story, deeper detail right there. Now let's see here, okay? Growth hormones. Here's another topic. Sauna use can trigger a massive release of growth hormones. What? You mean I don't have to go out and spend those expensive pills or lotions or things to get my growth hormone levels? Because we all know our hormone levels are whacked, we're out of balance. The serious muscle loss and atrophy that typically occurs with aging is affected by human growth hormone, a synergistic, fundamentally foundational biochemical. The higher your levels of HGH, the healthier and stronger you will be. Once people hit the age of, check this out, once people hit the age of 30, they enter in what's called somatopause, at which point their levels of HGH begin to drop off quite dramatically. Maintaining HGH levels gets increasingly important with age because the decline of HGH is part of what drives the aging process. So what did that just happen? As you age, your HGH really drops. If you can maintain an HGH, your aging process is held back. So thus, that's one of the many reasons why it's very important to keep your muscle mass. By keeping your muscle mass, men and women, you keep a higher level of HGH, human growth hormone. But as you lose your muscle mass, you lose significantly and dramatically those levels of HGH. One of the other, yet many benefits of exercise is keeping your own levels and hormones in balance. What are heat shock proteins? Real quickly, there is a mechanism by which heat stress prevents protein degradation. This is by triggering heat shock proteins, which are used by your cells to counteract potentially harmful stimulus. How this works is DNA separates in certain regions and begins to read the genetic code to produce the stress proteins whenever a cell is exposed to an unfriendly environment. Heat shock proteins are actually beneficial, helping to both prevent and repair damaged proteins. So wow, sitting in a sauna is going to actually help you regenerate and repair not just your brain, but damaged proteins throughout your whole body. Here's another section. You might be tempted to fall into the story that there was no way to get all those poisons out of the heart, but you are much too smart for that by now. Oh, this is a quote from a doctor's book. The far-infrared sauna has been proven by specialists at the famed Mayo Clinic to improve heart failure even when nothing more could be done by medicine. And in Japan, clinicians and researchers have confirmed its life-saving properties when nothing else could be done. What? Life-saving properties when nothing else could be done. That's a far-infrared sauna. I make that available to you. These tools of the trade, tools of being healthy, are going to be what I'm going to create in my ultimate Wiggins awareness gear. It is what I'm going to call my WAG bag, or my WAG swag bag. More about that on the other side, because you need to know what it takes to become healthy. And you need someone who's been there. You need someone who is able to take your hand and work with where you start, where you're at. Here on TalkTainmentradio.com. We go where you go. Download TalkTainmentradio.com app to your cell or tablet. Podcasts are available. That's radio the way it should be heard. Stay right there. More up on Wiggins World of Wellness on TalkTainmentradio.com.
For the best home fragrance and beauty products, shop Ash Kickin online.
That's ASHKICKIN.
Made with 100% natural quality ingredients and handcrafted with your family in mind, Ash Kicking products are better than those other guys. Ash Kicking candles, incense, body butter, face moisturizer, and hair moisturizer are priced just right, and you can get yours at 10% off with coupon code TALK17. Support this 100% black-owned business and get your home and body smelling and feeling all right.
That's ASHKICKIN.
Shop Ash Kickin' online at www.ashkickin.com.
I am Dr. Dawn Karima, and I have happy news. Yes, happy news. Happy news that I am nominated for the International Singer-Songwriters Association Award. And I would be so honored if you would take a moment and visit ISSAsongwriters.com. That's ISSAsongwriters.com. And vote for me to win the USA Female Vocalist of the Year, the USA Female Rising Star, USA Female Songwriter of the Year, and USA Female Emerging Artist of the Year at ISSAsongwriters.com. And we can vote once a day per device through April 30th, 2020. I sure appreciate your help, and I thank God for the honor and the opportunity.
Attention, Central Ohio! Attention, Central Ohio! Lynn Cole Realty has an important announcement to make.
Effective immediately, we will sell your home for 5%. Yes, 5% commission. You will get the same great service we have provided for over 35 years. Hurry and call Lynn Cole today at 614-375-2289. We have buyers for all areas. Call today, 614-375-2289. 614-375-2289. You'll be glad you did.
Think you can't afford life insurance? Think again. You might be surprised at how affordable it can be. 80% of Americans overestimate the cost of life insurance. Maybe it's time to swap a few small expenses for some big peace of mind. Life insurance can protect what matters most, and it's the right thing to do. Let's talk today. So call me, Marvin Smith, at American Family Insurance at 614-986-3105. You can also visit my website at marvinsmithinsurance.com. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Green, green, green. It's our home, it's our dream. For a life that's healthy and clean, make it green, green, green. My mom said making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for radon. It's easy. Just call 866-730-GREEN. Make it green, green, green.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Our government doesn't seem to care that 9 million children have no health insurance, even though every dollar spent immunizing children against illness saves more than $16 in medical costs to make them better. Doesn't anyone see? We're wasting money and allowing children to get sick. I am Susie Flynn. A vote for me is a vote for the 9 million uninsured children.
9 million uninsured children need a solution now. For more information, go to electsusie.com.
I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 33, with not one day off since. But JDRF has my back, funding research toward a cure, prevention, and treatments that really help the millions like me to have a better life. The scientists funded by JDRF test themselves every day so that someday I won't have to. Join us. Your help is our hope. JDRF, improving lives, curing type 1 diabetes.
At TalkTainmentRadio.com, we don't just talk, we don't just entertain. We've combined talk radio with the latest in online entertainment, with the ability to listen live at no cost 24/7. We are the premier online radio station. Outperforming the digital quality of our competitors, our shows are produced in a state-of-the-art studio by the best radio professionals in the business. Hosting live shows on location at some of the area's greatest and most popular events, we give you exactly what you want to hear with talk radio that matters to you. Join us online at TalkTainmentRadio.com, where you can listen live or play podcasts from the best shows in online talk radio. We give you a reason to come. We give you a reason to stay. TalkTainmentRadio.com. Radio, the way it should be heard.
TalkTainmentRadio.com. We go where you go. Download TalkTainmentRadio.com to your app or your cell, your tablet. That's radio, the way it should be heard. This is Stacey Wiggins on Wiggins World of Wellness. And we're discussing about what are the 5 top things that I do to maintain a level of health. And run through it real quickly. The top number 1 thing was about staying balanced, staying love of yourself, love of others, creating a environment where that can be done. Because if you do not have support with your family or your immediate support in your immediate environment, it's going to be next to impossible to create that. Number 2, addressing our toxic life, addressing how not only stressful we are, but how toxic the chemicals in the water, we've covered it. We've covered it. And we have solutions, absolutely. Very exciting solutions coming up. And to become healthy, you really have to make this shift. Now, does it all have to occur? No, it can't occur at one time. Your brain would rattle so much, it cause you a headache. You can't shift all this at once, but you can start 1% a day, 1% improvement, or 1% of just looking at things in a different way, as opposed to maybe being harsh on yourself. Be less harsh on yourself. Be more supportive. Look for the things that you've done well, as opposed to looking for the things that you suck at, all right? Dang it, I'm not successful at this, and this is what it's all about, and I can't get successful because I'm thinking I'm not successful. A pretty bad spiral thinking. And we talked about the breathing, the power of breath. Oh my goodness. I could talk, like I said, all day about it, because I gave one client of mine in a pretty high position among various companies here in Columbus. And I simply said, he or she who breathes the best has the most cognitive power, has the most control. They're not emotionally flying off the handle. So when board meetings or other meetings get really tight, tense, you breathe in a controlled manner, and it really helps you to be present. It really helps you to become with the situation and not tense against the situation. Keeps your mind clear. All right. Proper movement. Wow. This really, it's I like to call a rabbit hole, but this is a bear hole, because there's so much to know about. There's so much miseducation already, and a re-education. We have accumulated, once again, a certain understanding, a certain lifestyle that has been very detrimental to our body, to our being. So this proper exercise, movement, stretching is to help offset that damage that we've occurred time and time again. It could be just as simple as sleeping on your shoulder at night. You're just keeping that shoulder jammed up into your neck, and that creates a problem. Well, we have solutions for that. Let's get to it. In 1999, created a DVD, created a video that walks you through the paces on how to do self-massage on a medicine ball. And that is just one of the many products that I can introduce to you with the Wiggins Awareness Gear bag. This bag would kind of look like this, maybe something different, but it will come with various products. Now, let's say that I'm more concerned about, Stacey, my immune health. What can you offer me there? Well, I could certainly offer you some of the products that we showed last week about the Silver Soul and the many benefits that it has. I could offer you chaga tea. We've talked about that and reported on that many times. There are many things in the immune area or category that you could choose from, but let's say you're more into that massage active workout swag bag. Well, that's what this shirt is. You actually get a shirt from me, or you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever, and you get one of these white shirts, and here's what you do. You color in areas of your own personal tightness. Let's say you have a shoulder problem. Matter of fact, let me show you something. That OMG stands for oh my God, okay? And this is what I call the religious area. Whenever I work on this shoulder area, I can create such a response out of people. I like to say, jump off the table. They don't, but their attention is immediately grasped because it's super, super painful. Now, I got a secret to share with you. I've been doing this body work well over 30 years. And because I know the human anatomy so well, not only have I been doing the body work, I've taught human anatomy and physiology at a massage school. So my familiarity with the body is detailed. It is a PhD level and beyond. So I know that certain areas that are tight create other areas of tension, pain, or restriction. So when you draw in this area here or there, wherever you have pain, I can then see where you are currently existing with the problem and offer you some of the other countermeasures and some areas on how to roll out, decompress, or work with trigger points on your body. And I can do this over the web. I don't have to be there. Of course, it is way more beneficial doing this in person, but with social distancing being such the deal right now, I think this is the perfect time to offer this system to where you can begin to really create your own massage, get your own deep tissue massage online or just through my app, because we will be able to go back and forth. Oh, I have a neck problem and but yes, I did have a car accident such and such a year ago, and I like to be at the computer for X amount of hours in a day. We can create a custom program on how to decompress that tension, how to dig in on those tender massage points with trigger point tools. Some you can go out and buy, and some you buy from me. But here's the most important thing. I take you by the hand. I have the knowledge. I have chopped the journey. I have made the journey, chopped the woods, the trees, made the path to create this wellness state. And to be honest with you, it was a whole lot of work, but once I got there, it's pretty easy. It's like you have to go and do all these other things, mistakes, or learning trials, we should say, don't call them mistakes, in order to create this wellness. Well, I can get it to you in a speediest times because, one, I know how to do it. I live this way every day. Two, I was once unhealthy. I had problems. I had sickle cell. I had, quote, pre-disease state. I had arthritis. I had all these aging symptoms that I no longer have. I was just thinking today, my fingers have never been this strong in my life and this straight. Check them out. They were and they may look not too straight, but they were way more crooked before because of several factors. So what I'm trying to present to you is there is a way that you can bite a little or bite a lot into this apple of health and wellness and create your own 1% by day improvement. And you can do this through, you can do it through diet. You can do it through making these little changes that I have found that worked for me. You can do it through deep breathing. You can do it through actual hands-on, getting balance, getting your brain, your left and your right brain balanced. Whew. Nothing compares to that. Here's why. You've maintained an out-of-balance life your whole life, so you do not know. You don't have the experience to make this assessment of balanced life, unbalanced life. Which one would I choose, right? You haven't had the taste of balance. You haven't had the experience of waking up, going to sleep, having a great day, having great weeks, having great months, having great years, because as you maintain balance, you erase the dirt off your shoulders, your mind, your body. You unscramble the tension and tightness and stress that you've accumulated in your life. You knock that shit off your shoulder. You become a neurologically relaxed, sound, balanced human being who's able to participate in life at a maximal level, not suppressed, depressed, and almost, no energy, but you're able to live life, perceive life, and enjoy life, however you may enjoy it. But clearly, being sick, being unhealthy, leaves us a lot of room from that current state to ultimate abundant health, wellness, and joy. Speaking of joy, if you can't get balance, if you can't get an alphabetic alignment because no one's around, you're not in Columbus, here is the next best thing. I'm wearing it right now, and I've talked a little bit about it before, but it's a microcurrency. It's from the Healy product, and you can find more information out on Healy World, HEALY world.net, and I will provide my own link here later on. But here's our disclaimer. Please read the instructions for use and safety instructions carefully before using your Healy. While scientific research underlies Healy technology, its connection to health and wellness has not been extensively explored or demonstrated. The Healy is not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent disease, but rather to support, to support energetic balance and enhance recovery, vitality, and well-being. More detailed information can be found in the manual, but hit next. So, here's what this particular program has. It has the gold cycle. The gold cycle is your basic kind of generic 7 programs, or it's your entry level on the Healy. The gold cycle allows you to have, well, let's punch it up here real quick. There's pure, that's a detox cycle. There's care, that's a more relaxation and mental cycle. Balance, being, energy, relax, and a release cycle. These, what am I saying, cycles? They are actual programs. Let's go to pure. Boom, hit that one. It tells you in the picture right here where to hook up your electrodes. So these are hooked up here. 90% of the frequencies that you run in your body, on your body, are done here. The other percent would be having either ear clips or electric cathodes, attached onto whatever part of your body, your low back, your shoulder, whatever. And so you hit start, and what this does is the app on the phone transmits the frequencies, the cycles of what it's going to go through to this Healy app. And this has something that I've learned, but always heard the word a quantum analyzer. This thing right here is so deep that you can set this in your right hand and run a reading. That's a different app on this phone. And in 30 seconds, no longer than a minute, it will take a reading of your energetic at a cellular level being. And it is so accurate, it blows your mind. It can pretty much point out that, you have a weakness in your chakras. Maybe it's your crown chakra or your root chakra. It can point out where you have high levels of energy and low levels of energy. And once it points this out in real time, then it can suggest, okay, well, today, Stacy, you seem to be pretty depressed. We would suggest using this cycle. They don't say it that way. But you can actually use this as your own therapist in your pocket. Okay? So Pure is the first program. The second one is local stimulation. This one, because it has been in other countries and it is going to open up May 1st. I'm so excited. In the United States. So maybe it's going to be relabeled something else, but local stimulation simply means you're going to work on the brain area. I did this the first time. The first time I got out of the package, I ran a Healy analysis system, and it told me that I was depressed. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I'm not going to argue that point. And so I ran the depression frequency. It was number 7. So I pressed the frequency, I attached it to my ears and ran the program, and it went for about, I believe it was 40 minutes. At the end of 40 minutes, what happened? Was I happy? Was I like a clown? No. But I had a sense of being more well, being more centered, more grounded. So then I ran several other programs, and by the end of the day, I'd ran about 3 different frequency programs and could really see and understand, wow, the lack of laughter is one of the most prominent things that we are currently experiencing in this, quote, lockdown situation. And we all know that laughter is, quote, the best medicine. All right? And that really started to resonate with me. And so I started to laugh at things. If they weren't that funny, I tried to make them funnier. And I could see the point that was being brought to me by consciousness, by God, that Stacy, you need to lighten up and go find some laughter. And so that next day, went to Whole Foods. Everybody's wearing their mask, and it was very solemn, and, people kind of looking at each other's eyes. You alive? You got the virus? And out of the left-hand side of my consciousness, I heard a group of women laughing. And it was about 6 or 7 women, and they all were laughing pretty loud. And I just was in shock. It's like, when's the last time I've heard laughter? It's been a long time, let alone a group of people laughing. And I thought, man, that's great. And then I got jealous real quick because I'd love to be in on the laugh, but I wasn't. But that further it further helped me to understand that you have to create your own inner happiness, your own inner well-being. And using this Healy product has at least opened up that door. It's creating access to such things. And there are many other programs. Real quickly, let me run through a few. The local stimulation was where you attach it at the ear level or underneath the mastoid process. Here's one. Have you ever wanted to learn better? Have you ever wanted to learn new languages? This app right here has learning systemic and learning acute memory, concentration. Would you like to improve your concentration? There is a micro frequency app for that. This is crazy. Let's say you got exams, you're in school. There's an app that you can take that will help you better study, help kind of align your brain cells in order to receive the information, retrieve the information when you need to. Now, this one is probably my most used app here. It's called the Fitness app. It has weight, muscle, circulation. I use this all the time to help increase blood circulation, performance, strength, stamina, regeneration. What do you do after a heavy workout? You regenerate. So I use this quite often. And deep relaxation cycle. That's 20 minutes. I use this on a lot of my clients that I've been able to test it out on. 20 minutes of deep relaxation, you can actually feel the muscle tissue just kind of soften up. It is incredible. There is a job sleep page. Balanced sleep, extreme stress, activation. Oh, here's one, positive thoughts. There are actual frequencies that you can download and stimulate your mind and body to open up those areas. So mental balance. Yeah, I've used that a whole lot. But here's something else I use a lot, and a lot of ladies would like this, because this Healy program can be used for so many things. Mental balance, physical balance, spiritual balance. But here in LA, over there, they're using it because women who get their, the plastic surgery, this reduces inflammation so quickly that in 3 days of using this product, it looked like that was day 11. So it really helps increase the healing process by just reducing the inflammation. So there's a beauty and skin app. And you have inner beauty, you have hair. Would you like your hair to grow a little bit stronger? There's a frequency for that. There's skin. I've actually used the skin, and the first time I used it, I felt tingling sensation on my forehead, and it felt like just like long hairs were kind of touching it. I could feel something going on. And actually, I used to have 4 lines. I don't anymore. I got about 2.5 to 3. So there's skin elasticity, there's nails, there's aging. Now here's what I used in order to create the healing in my low back. Because I mentioned before, I wasn't pain-free. I had maybe 6 months of pain. Well, thanks to this Healy, I was able to get back to my pain-free status. Believe me, it's nice to be there. It's scar tissue. This has an app, an actual application that will go in and help the scar tissue melt. So I had scar tissue around my lumbar, L4, L5 area, which was pushing on a nerve, but that nerve went all the way down to my foot. So as things decreased in inflammation and the healing could occur, my foot and toes no longer puffy. I have total sensation back, so kind of like health returned. And that was because scar tissue was in the way of the healing process. I could have used relaxed muscles, wouldn't have done anything. I could have used stimulation of nerves. It wouldn't have done what needed to occur in order for the total healing to occur. So this has really bumped my game up to a stratosphere level of not only my own personal healing, but what I'm able to do in service for others. And that's the most outrageous thing that I can now offer, is that I can run a program, have you hold this little Healy in your right hand, and you can now be analyzed on the spot. What are some of the vitamins that you're short on? Where are your chakras? So we can analyze many, many things. Let's see here. Continue on. Do we have a couple seconds left? Yes. How about the immune system? That's pretty important today. There's a frequency just for colds. There's a frequency for allergies. There's a frequency which I've used several times for your eyes. And we noticed that at the end of using that eye frequency, they felt dry. You had to go and drink more water. They felt kind of almost stingy. And it's like, okay, something's working here. That happens. If you do these micro little frequencies on your body and you feel it in your eyes, something is definitely going on. Hormone balance. There's flexibility, circulation system. There's menopause, not mental pause, and potency. Now, here's something that I found very, very strange, that there is a different frequency for the female kidney than there is the male kidney. So actually, it is that detailed as to what frequencies we can download on this app and have that delivered to our body. Last but not least, we are really becoming more aware of our EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. Even this phone is putting one out. However, there are beneficial EMFs. There are beneficial micro frequencies that can hit one for cell. It has a maximum program of 77 minutes. You put that one in, put it in your pocket, wear it wherever you will. You can put it on your nightstand. And it helps. People ask me, will it eliminate that 5B thing that's going on? It's like, no, it won't eliminate it, but it will strengthen your body. It'll strengthen it in ways that you can't do with a vitamin pill to better deal with the stresses that we are today. So this is a fascinating, fascinating product. Entry level is like $5.5, maybe $600. Top of the line level is just under $3,000. It is a must-get tool. Now, that's awful expensive, you might say, Stacy. No, it is by no means expensive at all, because here's what you get. You get a everyday application of checking in with yourself. How's things going? What frequencies do I need? Ooh, am I mentally depressed? Did I not get enough rest last night? It can analyze all these things and then suggest maybe you might want to run ABC frequency. Or maybe you might want to eat more foods, the broccolis, the cauliflowers, the carnivorous foods, if your superdioxide mutase is low. Things like that. It is now able to give you, thanks to modern technology, information we knew over 100 years ago. Remember Tesla? Yep. This is exactly the kind of frequencies he was talking about. Frequencies that create health, and there's frequencies that can destroy health. Well, guess what, people? We've got frequencies that are creating health, and it is absolutely fabulous, fantastic. It's made a huge impact in my life. So here at TalkTainmentRadio.com, this is the world's greatest radio the way it should be heard.
Just holler. Come on and holler back. When you gonna holler? When you gonna holler back? Hey, come on and holler. Want you to holler back. Want you to holler. Just holler back. Hey, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler back.
You've got the power. The world's greatest radio. TalkTainmentRadio.com. Talktainment Radio, worldwide sound. TalkTainmentRadio.com. We give you a reason to come.